Okay, so we're back in the kitchen again. We're having another cookie, of course. This is a peanut butter kiss cookie. So basically these are the ones that you make and you put the kiss in them. And I'll show you a little trick on that because I know a lot of people put them in right from the beginning. But we actually partially bake the cookies first, then add the kiss cookie so they just start to melt into the cookie dough. So where we're going to start first is we're going to sift together 1 3/4 cup of flour and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And again, I use my old-fashioned sifter because it just kind of, this is what I use. I like what why recreate the wheel when it works well? And everything's already incorporated into there. Okay, and in our mixer, we're going to take a 1/2 cup of butter, and this has been softened. And again, that's 1 stick. Into this, we are going to cream in the 1/2 cup of brown packed sugar, a 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, and a half a cup of smooth peanut butter. I'll add that in just a moment. I'm going to let the butter and the sugars kind of combine first. Going to give that all scraped down, and then I'm going to go ahead and add the 1/2 cup of creamy peanut butter. And really, any peanut butter that you want to use. Sometimes I just buy the store brand because actually when they're in the cookies, they taste just as good as all the others. And we're going to need 1 large egg. Since we have the chickens here, we have as fresh of eggs as we can get, really. And then we're just going to go ahead and add that to the batter with 1 teaspoon of vanilla. My last wet ingredient that I have is 1 tablespoon of milk. I'm going to let that cream together for a bit before I actually add the sifted flour and baking soda. Now this is one of those batters that you're actually going to roll into balls. So as far as placing them on the tray and making them into balls, you may have to refrigerate the batter for an hour just to chill so it hardens off a little bit. But we'll see that when we add the flour, how we are. Now this is one I usually double, if not triple the recipe. But just for today's cookies, I'm just doing a single batch. And that's it. So here we are. We have the batter. And it's not too bad as far as the consistency. I probably could get a 1-inch size ball out of this pretty easily without it sticking too much. And that's all you want to do is just a nice little ball. And we're going to place those on the trays. Now the trays that we're using today are either greased or parchment lined. I chose to parchment line it because it just makes it a little bit easier for cleanup. And again, you're just placing the balls on the sheets, roughly about 2 inches apart. I think I'm being a little bit more generous than the 1-inch balls that it calls for. And because I make so many cookies, you kind of just know how to eyeball where to place them on the trays. One thing I do recommend is if you're going to do baking of cookies, I would invest in some good trays because there's nothing worse than going through all the work of making cookies and then having it burn. Okay, now I'll take these and place them in the 375 degree preheated oven. I'm going to set that for 7 minutes because it's kind of halfway between the 6 and the 8. I'm going to go ahead and get my chocolate kisses that have already been peeled and are ready to go right next to it. So I will see you in about a few seconds your time and about 7 minutes mine. All right, and the timer is going off, and this is for our first set. You'll see that they're kind of dome shaped, starting to brown a little bit. And we're going to take these over and we're going to put the kisses into the cookies. Now by this, I mean you're just gently pushing it in and it begins to crack. So you kind of just set them in the middle, and then when they go back into the oven, they will finish baking and the chocolate will start to melt just a little bit. Now will it hurt to put the chocolate in from the beginning? No, but what will happen is they will probably melt all the way in, almost burning. And just like that, they're ready to go back into the oven at probably another 2-3 minutes. And then it'll be seeing when they're brown, and we'll go from there. Okay, so here we are. They're starting to brown up a little bit. Let those sit on the tray for a couple minutes, let them settle. Okay, and there we have it. There's another Christmas cookie. These are the peanut butter kiss cookies. Tips did get a little dark. Again, you're watching them to make sure that the peanut butter cooks, but this is why you need to stick the kiss cookies in after they've cooked for a little bit in the oven. And we hope you enjoy these cookies. And if you give them a try, let us know how they come out. Love to hear from you, and happy baking.